Okay, so generative AI. You've seen the headlines, you've probably even used it. But what is it really? To get a real handle on this incredible technology, we first need to figure out where it fits in the huge world of artificial intelligence. So let's map it out. AI can feel like this massive, kind of overwhelming topic, right? But what if we could boil it down? Let's look at almost any AI application through one simple lens. Is its main goal to create something totally new, or is it to predict something based on what's already out there? And this split gives us two really clear paths. On one side, you've got generative AI. Its whole purpose in life is to create new content, things that literally did not exist a moment before. On the other side, you have analytical AI. Its job is to dig through all the data we already have, find patterns, and make predictions. Simply put, one makes, the other analyzes it. Of course, it's not always a perfectly clean break. I mean, think about autocorrect on your phone. Is it predicting the word you were trying to type, or is it generating the correct word for you? The lines can get a little blurry. These categories are really just to help us understand the main goal of an AI, even when some tools seem to live in that gray area. So now that we have our map, let's zoom way in on the creative side of the family. From this point on, we are focusing completely on the technology that makes new stuff. So what actually is generative AI, or Gen AI for short? Well, it's all about using machine learning to create brand new data. It does this by recognizing all of the patterns in the mountains of old data it was trained on. And right now, the most famous examples of this, the ones you hear about all the time, are large language models, or LLMs. And what can it create? Pretty much anything you can imagine as data. It can write new text, from a quick email to a whole business report. It can generate stunning, brand new images, art, photorealistic scenes, architectural designs, you name it. It can even create whole new data sets to test other computer systems. But here's the key. These models are usually specialists. A text generator is amazing with words, but it can't draw you a picture, and the other way around. So how do we steer these incredibly powerful models? With something called a prompt. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just an instruction we write in plain normal language to guide the AI toward the result we're looking for. It's our way of starting the conversation. But what was the big bang that unlocked all this creative power? Well, it all comes down to a massive change in how this technology is built, and it's all thanks to something called a foundation model. And this isn't just a small tweak. We're talking about a completely new philosophy for building AI. For years and years, every single AI application had to be built from scratch, brick by painful brick. Foundation models, though, they give developers a super powerful pre-built starting point. Think of it like this. A standard old-school machine learning model was built for one and only one very specific task. A model built to detect fraud could only detect fraud. That's it. A foundation model is totally different. It's been pre-trained on a huge general subject, like, say, all of human language, which makes it incredibly versatile and ready to be adapted for tons of different tasks right out of the box. The key to all this power is just scale. Immense, mind-boggling scale. To be this flexible, these models are trained on unbelievable amounts of general unlabeled data. And unlabeled just means raw information, text, images, whatever, without any human-added tags or categories. It's this huge, unfiltered diet of data that gives them such a broad understanding of the world to build on. Okay, so we have these giant, general-purpose AI brains. That's great. But how does a developer actually turn one of them into a useful, specialized app? The whole process really breaks down into three key steps. First, developers grab one of those huge pre-trained foundation models. Second, they fine-tune it. That just means they train it a little more, but this time on a much smaller, more specialized set of data. And finally, they use prompts to guide the now specialized model to produce the exact kind of output they need for their project. And why is this such a game changer? Well, by starting with a foundation model, development time gets slashed, project costs drop dramatically, and teams get this incredibly powerful base to build on for all sorts of different projects. It's like getting a massive head start in a race. So, after our quick tour of the generative AI landscape, let's pull back and look at the big picture. What are the key ideas you really need to take away from all this? It really all boils down to this. First, remember that AI pretty much splits into two worlds, analyzing what we have and generating what we don't. Generative AI is all about creation. Second, the engines making this new wave possible are those massive foundation models. And finally, these giant models get customized for specific jobs through that process of fine-tuning and prompting. And that leaves us with a really powerful final thought. These universal foundations for creating almost anything are becoming more and more accessible every single day. So the ultimate question isn't really about what the technology can do anymore. It's about what we, as creators, as innovators, as everyday users will choose to build on top of it.